All right. Hello. This will be a slightly more informal video. I have not seen all of these masteries yet. Devyn hooked me up, helped me get a PBE account. So even though it's going to be live in like 7 days or something, some people really value my opinion on stuff. So I'm going to go over some masteries, my first impressions, maybe make a few attempts at making the masteries, see what I think of everything, and really just go from there. So I have seen a couple of them. I don't really know what they are for sure. I know a couple points that do a couple different things, but I really know almost nothing. So if you don't know anything either, then let's learn together. Okay, but from my basic understanding, we've got Ferocity, Cunning, and Resolve. Ferocity seems like the offensive, Cunning seems like the support, and Resolve seems like the defense. So I'm assuming you won't be spending all 30 points just looking at this in one tree. So we'll probably end up going some into one and some into the other, just like before. So let's start off with Ferocity. Increased AP and spell damage. Pretty self-explanatory. It's pretty much the exact same. Like, yeah, we got our attack speed and our AP. So it's slightly different because before it used to give a flat amount of AP, but now it gives a percent. So that's pretty cool. I think I like the percent better. That's probably more useful. Same, we've got 4% attack speed. I'm pretty sure it was 5% last time, but either way, just standard attack speed AP. No problems there. Double-edged sword. Melee deal an additional 3% damage, take an additional 1.5% damage. Okay, so they actually upped that because it used to be deal an additional 2% and take an additional 1. And I'm pretty sure ranged is the same. I could be wrong on that melee double-edged sword, but I'm pretty sure it was 2%. Maybe it was 3 though. I don't know. So yeah, it doesn't really seem like it changed that much. I'm still probably never gonna get it unless I'm playing something dumb like Tryndamere. Killing unit restores 20 health on a 20-second cooldown. So I guess after reading this kind of makes double-edged sword slightly more appealing in scenarios. I would probably, since it's on a 20-second cooldown, I would probably just go Feast if I'm in a lane phase as AD carry that I feel like I would just want to farm in, or the enemy would have heavy poke, like if I was playing, say, Kog'Maw, Janna, or something, into Caitlyn, Sona, for a random example. I would probably take Feast over Double-Edged Sword every time, because I'm really just trying to farm and sustain and not get wrecked. So let's just go ahead and say Kog'Maw for a specific example. Oh yeah, you can't see the title, but I labeled the mastery page Kog'Maw. So we got our Feast, we got our attack speed. Let's see, Lifesteal and Spell Vamp. Lifesteal in a mastery, that seems pretty cool. Well, let's see, plus 10 AD and 15 ability power at level 18. I really don't think that seems that good. I don't really care about that talent. I think its first impression is pretty stupid. For AD carries at least. I mean, it might be super cool on something like Corki because you do hybrid damage, so you get AD and AP both from one talent. But I don't know. I just feel like 10 AP or 10 AD and 15 AP just isn't that useful at level 18. That's not going to be the game deciding factor. So 2% Lifesteal Spell Vamp seems again like another great sustain tool. Deal 1% increased damage for each unique enemy champion you kill. Huh. I wonder if that stacks forever. I mean, it just says each unique enemy champion, so probably not. So if you kill all 5 of the enemy champions, you just permanently do 5% increased damage. That seems pretty cool. Again, probably not worth it though. I just feel like it's, unless you're going for a super late game scaling comp. Again, I haven't even read the other one next to this, but unless you're going for like a late game scaling comp and you plan on being in the game a long time to guarantee the fact that you'll most likely kill all 5 individuals, I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's my go-to mastery, but it's a cool idea. You deal 2.5% increased damage to targets with impaired movement. See, they both seem kind of whatever, but I would definitely go for Oppressor every time. In my personal opinion, I would go for this one every single time. Let's see, 7 Armor Pen or 7 Magic Pen. I'm going to go ahead and go for that Armor Pen. You know, self-explanatory, obvious reasons. We're 80 carries. We're going to get Armor Pen. Okay. Unless maybe you're Corki again. Or even Kog'Maw. Would Kog'Maw auto attack still do? That's something to think about. I don't actually know. But it might actually be more worth it if you're playing Kog'Maw specifically to go for the Magic Pen over the Armor Pen. Because with the new W, doesn't it reduce your total AD anyway? And most of your damage is going to be like on hit. But then again, I'm pretty sure Blade of the Ruined King on hit damage is also physical. So getting Armor Pen would increase the Blade of the Ruined King on hit. But the W by Arcane Barrage does magic damage, % health. So I don't know, that's actually a tough one. I guess it really depends on the team comp. I mean, if you think they're going to be stacking armor, go for that Armor Pen. Like if you see a Malphite, Aurelia, Hecarim, Olaf, Bullcrap, then, you know, grab that armor. But I don't know, maybe Magic Pen is definitely keep an open mind when choosing between these two when you're in game. Alright, now the last ones. Critical Strikes, heal for 15% of the damage dealt, and grant you 20% attack speed for 4 seconds. 2-second cooldown. What? That seems awesome. This sounds super strong. Basic attacks and spells grant you a stack of Fervor for 5 seconds. Max 10 stacks, okay. Each stack adds 1 to 8 bonus physical damage to your basic attacks against champions based on my level. Although this seems pretty cool, I really don't think I would ever pick it over Warlords of Bloodlust. I mean, let's think of the potential here. Stacks up to 10 times, max 8 bonus physical damage. So, I mean, you could potentially get an extra 80 AD, which is a lot. But keep in mind, that's at level 18. I'm assuming you only get the 8 bonus AD off of level 18. And that would also mean you have to get off 10 auto attacks within, like 5 seconds of each other. So it has the potential to not be as consistent as Warlord's Bloodlust, because even though you get the attack speed steroid from this that only lasts 4 seconds, it is on a 2-second cooldown, so you can get it again very quickly, and it just heals you. So let's say, for instance, you're not playing Kog'Maw and you're playing someone like Devyn instead. You're, having a hard time getting into the team fight, you press Q, you run in, and, you go and auto-attack somebody once. But as you go in, Vigor, W lands on you, and you just get exploded for half your health. But you crit, and so you heal for 15% of the damage you deal. You're not able to get off more auto-attacks to increase your total AD given to you, because, you're scared of getting wrecked. So, I don't know, Warlord's Bloodlust just seems like, in solo queue specifically, it might be more worth it. I don't even know what the third one is, so maybe they're both bad. Damaging abilities cause enemy champions to take 6 plus 50% of your bonus AD and 20% AP. In magic damage over 3 seconds. Interesting. See, now this brings my question. I instantly think of, does damaging abilities count as Draven Q? Because I'm fairly certain Draven Q procced Spell Weaving in the currently live, almost past, Season 5 patch. If this procs off of Draven Qs, this might be awesome. I will have to do testing, but this and this seem pretty cool. Definitely, as a default for my first game, I would go for this one every time. And I think I'll be using this one most of the time in most games. But this seems like it has some potential in certain stuff. But this one I probably will never use. This is just me, maybe you have some ideas I don't. But so far in Ferocity, this looks like the points I'm spending. If you need a quick recap, it's attack speed, killing unit just restores 20 HP, some lifesteal spell vamp, extra damage to slowed, stunned, whatever targets, armor pen, and crits heal you and give you an attack speed steroid. That seems pretty cool for an AD carry. It seems pretty good. Now let's think. Do we want to put the rest in utility or in defense? Most likely, I'm thinking defense. But let's real quick go over these just very quickly. Not as in depth as this one, but for our second tier choices, let's look real quick. Movement speed out of combat, basic attacks and single target spells, deal extra damage to minions. Same thing. Biscuits, 1% damage. That seems pretty cool. Extra damage to targets below 40% HP. Okay, so the only thing interesting to me would be this one, but let's see. Bonus armor magic resist, health regen, movement speed in bush or river, 2 less damage from champion basic attacks, 1.6 bonus to all shields and healing on you, including lifesteal and regen. This right here almost makes everything worth it. So let's just do a real quick test. Bonus armor and magic resist. So that makes me think, is it an extra 6% additional armor and magic resist? Like no matter, like whatever your total is, say you have 100 armor and then you buy a 50 armor, or let's just say a 100 armor, because for math's sake, because I'm dumb. You start off with 100 armor, just base level 1. You have 100 armor, and and then through runes, masteries, and your first item, you get 200 armor. Does that mean you get an extra 12 armor? Because 6% of 200, unless I'm crazy, I'm fairly certain is 12. Would you get an extra 12 armor? Or since you already started off the game with 100 armor, would you only get an extra 6 armor because you only purchased an additional bonus 100 armor through your stuff? That brings up some questions for me, but I'm going to go ahead and say for an 80 carry specifically, let's go with the 2 health regen per 5 for lane phase sustain. And on top of that, it'll also combo with runic armor here. 12% movement speed in bush and river. This seems really cool. You take 2 less damage from champion and monster basic attacks. This also seems pretty okay. Again, it depends on what your goals are. I mean, again, if you're playing Kog'Maw Janna into Caitlyn Sona, perhaps you really want tough skin because you feel like you're not really confident in your positioning maybe, and you feel like you're going to take a lot of auto attacks or whatever. Or the enemy team just has a lot of auto attack based champions. Like if you think an Olaf or a Shyvana or whatever is just going to run up to you and you don't think it'll be avoidable, perhaps this could be okay. But in my personal opinion, every single time, I think I'm going to go for Explorer. Not 12%, just a base 12 movement speed in bush and river. That seems really nice. Not only can it be like, oh, we're in a dragon fight, we're in the river, I'm going to have this extra 12 movement speed, and I could kite that champion that I otherwise wouldn't have been able to. At the same time, I'm thinking, since it seems so much better than tough skin, probably everyone is going to be taking Explorer. So even if you find a situation where tough skin would be better than Explorer, you might just have to take Explorer because it's just that much better than this one, in my opinion, that if you don't have it, you're at a disadvantage rather than taking it and being at an advantage. So I feel like I would just take Explorer every game. It also helped me rotate through bottom to mid lane to maybe hold waves or get CS or whatever. And I mean, this is cool. I mean, 4% HP, that's great. But I mean, honestly, like, let's be real. This is 8% bonus to all shields and healing. So an extra 8% lifesteal, an extra 8% health regen. I just think that's super good. I'm gonna be taking this every time. Summoner spells have 15% reduced cooldown, 50% health regen, increased 200% when below 20% HP. Interesting. This would definitely be something that I would take the enemy team comp into account for. Let's use the same example I've been using this whole time. Kog'Maw Janna versus Caitlyn Sona. I would probably take this one, the health regen one, because it would help me stay in lane. It would help me farm and not, as I just said, stay in lane. It'll help me farm and not have to recall so often. It would really just even helping sieges, because as Kog'Maw, you're probably going to be sieging a lot, because that's something Kog'Maw is good at. And the extra health regen or whatever will help you, stay at the tower longer. So this seems really good in those kinds of situations. But this, summoner spells have 15% reduced cooldown. If you're finding yourself, your lane phase might not be that health regen necessary or whatever, but you find that mid lane has a Zed or top lane has a Malphite or something, and you just feel like that without flash, you will get one shot or CC'd or whatever from Malphite ult or Zed ult, and you need to flash those things. I would grab the summoner spell reduction. It's your own call. Obviously, all of this is your own call. These are just my opinions, but I would definitely take the enemy team comp into account, and if I think I really need flash to get away from something, whether it be like a Hecarim ult, a Malphite ult, a Zed ult, whatever it is, I would go for summoner spell reduction. But if I don't really think I'll be counting on my summoner spells too much for my survival, then I'll definitely go for the health regen. So this is my assumption of what my 80 carry mastery page will be. 18-0-12. Okay, now that we've done that, I mean, I could go for every single role. I feel like this video would be like an hour long if I did that. But I'm just going to go ahead and do support also, because for those of you that don't know, I made support for a long time, and I was also on a rank 5s team as support also. We didn't really get anywhere. It was my first team ever, but I don't know. For those of you that watch me regularly or watch my stream or whatever, I can play support fairly fine, and it's the same lane. So I mean, how different could it be? I've been playing for years. I got this. So support. I don't think we'll be going into Ferocity at all. I really don't think it's worth it. Doesn't really seem like we need anything there, except maybe some cool extra AP and spell damage if you're going like Zyra support or Lulu support or Annie support. But we'll find that later. So looks like we'll most likely be going Cunning, because this seems like the utility trait to me. So 3% move speed out of combat. That seems really cool. We had it before. Having it now is going to be just as useful for roaming or clearing wards. Basic attacks and single target spells deal additional 1 to minions and monsters. Okay. Movement speed every time. No contest. Like, our basic attacks and single target spells deal an extra 5 damage to minions and monsters. I don't know, man. Not for support. Buffs granted by jungle monsters last 15% longer. Or biscuits. I'm getting the biscuits. This is a lot more easy of a decision on support so far. Deal 5% increased damage to champions below 40% HP. Again, Zyra support, Annie support, more burst support. It's not really a Lulu, but Zyra, Annie, even Vigar support. Whatever you're playing. If you have burst damage, this might be worth it. But what's this one? Once every 5 seconds, regenerate 1.5% of your missing mana. Honestly, as me, my personal play style, I'm getting this one every time. I love, in most cases, to be aggressive on my supports and using my abilities more often than usual. So having this mastery will definitely help me not get punished as hard for doing that. So I would take this personally every time. Let's see. Champion kills and assists. Oh, it's a dangerous game. Dangerous game seems pretty cool, but gain 1 gold for each nearby minions killed by allied champions. Gain an additional 3 gold or 10 if you're melee when hitting an enemy champion with an attack or spell. So yeah, we already had both of these before. As support, again, I'm aggressive. I really like to attack and harass, so I'll be getting a lot of gold out of this. So I'm probably going to go for Bandit each time. I mean, Dangerous Game is cool, but yeah, unless I'm playing a melee support, like if I'm playing a ranged support like Lulu, Bard, or whatever, I'll go for Bandit. If I'm playing melee or tank like Braum or Alistar, I might go for Dangerous Game, just because that might help me survive when I'm in the fray, you know, doing tanky things. But let's just assume so far that this will be Bard. Will be a Bard mastery page here. See, grant 3 plus 0.3 per level armor and magic pen. Okay, so just a lot of damage. More pen. Cooldown reduction caps increased by 5%. Gain 5% cooldown reduction. That's interesting. Very interesting. Well, for Bard specifically, I would definitely get this one. You know, the pen. But cooldown reduction cap increased by 5, and you gain the extra 5 cooldown reduction right away. That could be useful. I don't know on who, but personally, I would get this every time just because of how I play. I would get precision, but this seems cool and probably useful on some supports that I'm not thinking of off the top of my head. Maybe for Sona or something like that. Even Soraka, sustain. I would definitely think of. I mean, Nami, I would go for the armor and magic pen because again, I'm aggressive on Nami, but for like Soraka and Sona and stuff, I might just go for the extra CDR so I can heal more often. Be that heal bot. Maybe even Janna also, and I'm not really going to be going for damage. So really, all the utility supports. Now that I'm thinking about it, just all the utility supports, non-damage supports. I would definitely go for this one. So my 3 examples will be Janna, Sona, and what was the other one? Soraka. I mean, Sona could be considered a damage support depending on how you build her, but Janna, Soraka. Who else is there? Thresh. Thresh does pretty good damage though, so you might just want that pen. But CDR is pretty cool on Thresh, so maybe, you know, make your own judgment. But for most of my supports that I play, I would probably go the magic pen and AP and AD pen. Okay. Dealing 30% of a champion's max health within 2 seconds grants you 35% movement speed for 3 seconds. I think that's cool. I don't think it's for support. Unless you're playing like full AP Annie support. I really don't think you'll be doing 30% of a champion's max HP in 2 seconds. Unless you're trying to burst someone with like Tivers or something dumb. So, I'm not going to think too much of that one. Your third attack or spell on an enemy champion shocks the area around them, dealing 10 damage per level, so 180 damage at level 18, plus 20% of your bonus AD and 10% of your AP as magic damage to enemies in the area. Interesting. My first thought is that doesn't seem that strong, but then I think it's every third attack. But then I think it's only 30. It's on a 30-second cooldown. So I don't know. Maybe it's not that good. It wouldn't be my first choice, but it would be better than this one in my opinion. So I would default to it over this one. But what's this one? Your heals and shields are 10% stronger. Already amazing. Additionally, your shields and heals increase your target's resistances by 15% for 3 seconds. I would use this every single time. Holy moly, this is awesome. Heals and shields, 10% stronger. Additionally, your shields and heals increase your target's resistances by 15% for 3 seconds when used on an ally other than yourself. This seems crazy. All the supports I play, you know, like Bard uses a heal And that would also, every single heal, even if it's a little heal like Bard Shrine and he just walks on it instantly, that's 15% resistances. So Bard heal, Soraka heal, Sona heal, Janna shield, Lulu shield, Thresh Lantern. What else is there? What supports exist? Braum doesn't really do anything from this, but Alistar heal. Alistar heal would give 15% resistances to like your whole team if you did it correctly. Holy crap, I would take this every single time. Windspeaker's Blessing, new OP, like, this is good. This is good. I would take this. Okay. So now that we've got that out of the way, we've got movement speed, biscuits, mana regen, bandit, gold stealing stuff, some armor and magic pen, and Windspeaker's Blessing. So that's awesome. I think that's way better than these pretty much every time. Unless, as I said, you are playing those champions like Braum, or Zyra, or Annie. The supports that cannot heal or shield your ally. In that case, I would go for this one. So if you're here and you're watching my video and you're like, well, Jordan, I'm a Nivea support main. I don't want that. Well, you should take this one because it's third attack or spell. So you don't even need to auto attack. You can just cast spells. But if you're playing a support that doesn't shield or heal, get Thunderlords. If you're playing a support that can shield or heal, get Windspeakers. That's my final conclusion. So after that, okay, let's see what's here. Health regen, bonus armor, magic resist. If I'm playing a tank, Alistar, Braum, Thresh even, Leona, I would get this every time. Even if it's not that much, who cares about the math or whatever, I would get it. This, it's nice, but, I don't really care about it that much if I'm playing frontline. So, but since in this case, this is kind of a Bard mastery page for me, I'm going to go ahead for that health regen, because I'm going to be poking a lot. And I guess depending, even if I'm playing Bard, I might want to get this too, because depending on the team comp, to get my max CDR, sometimes I'll go like Frozen Heart or something, and that extra bonus armor could be nice. I don't know. We'll go for health regen for now, because it's pretty specific to the comp of what I would build for my CDR. But okay, so health regen. Movement speed in bush, definitely. That's way too good. Warding, getting wards out, roaming to mid lane, doing whatever. This is way too good. The bonus to all shields and healing on me. So again, this just seems super cool. But again, if you're playing someone like Braum, for a specific example, the only healing on you, unless it's from like your AD carry summoner heal, assuming that's still meta in this upcoming season, it's not as useful. So for my front line, Braum specifically, I would go the total HP. But even this one, not Leona, but Alistar, he has heals. So, I would get it on Alistar, but really just make your own judgment. If you've got a heal or a shield that you think is useful, go ahead, slap it on. Janna, I would get this one every time. This would probably go really well with Janna because her ultimate heals everyone. This would give you 8% increase bonus to that healing to everyone. And, your shield, obviously. So make your own judgment, but shields, backline champs like this, tanks like this, cookie cutter, we'll see. And, summoner spells have 50% reduced cooldown or increased health regen. Again, same thing as when you're playing AD carry. Summoner spells. If you are playing someone like Janna, I would probably get the health regen, because summoners, unless you're going exhaust. Ooh, this is a tough one. Okay, this is 100%, in my opinion, completely dependent on enemy team comps. Summoner spells have reduced 15% cooldown. My first thought was, okay, you can play Janna. You don't really need flash because you shouldn't be in a position where you need to die all the time, and you need flash to get out. So you don't really need your summoner spell, so you could just get the health regen and survive in lane better or whatever. But summoner spells have 50% reduced cooldown. It's not just flash; it could be the exhaust for the Zed that has a reduced cooldown and is flashing on your marksman every time. So having exhaust often, again, Zed, Riven, Trinimir, Darius, whatever it is, I feel like the reduced cooldown is just too useful for either saving your team or making a play. If I'm playing any support and I have Flash Ignite, I go Distortion Boots, and I have this Mastery point for 50% reduced cooldown, I can Flash Ignite somebody to try and make a pick way more often than if I were to grab the health regen. So, Summoner Spell Reduction for supports, I'm probably going to take this every single game. More than likely. So, quick recap again: movement speed, biscuits, mana regen, gold stealing from auto attacks, extra magic armor pen, heals and shields are OP. Health regen, faster in bush and river, better shields and heals, and reduced cooldown for summoner spells. This is my support assumption page. I think this will definitely be popular. So that's going to be my first impressions for my support page 1812. Looks like 1812 is just going to be the common, thing. Whatever you put it in, it's probably going to be 1812 because I doubt anyone's going to go like, oh, okay, I need some attack speed here. We get basic attack, single target damage, 5% increased 5 damage, blah blah blah. Then we get some armor up in here. We get jungle creeps. We get all this cool stuff. Hell yeah! I really doubt anyone's gonna go 8, 11, 11 because you really want these at the bottom. They're way too useful. So yeah. This is my support 0, 18, 12, and this is my AD carry 18, 0, 12. The 12 in utility, or tank even, because I guess this is a utility. The 18 tank is just way too useful. And so that's going to be it for the video. However, since we pretty much went over everything except like the bottom tiers in this one, real quick, I'm just going to go over the bottom tiers. So let's just, real quick, for the sake of learning, 3%, 15% tenacity and slow resist. That seems pretty cool. Someone like Mundo, Hecarim, or whatever, it would be useful. 3 armor magic resist for each nearby enemy champion, a total of potential 15 extra stats. Not bad. Definitely can see it being used over this tenacity slow resist, depending on the champion you're playing. Especially, if you're not playing split pusher, if you're playing Malphite and you're going to be ulting the whole enemy team every time, it might be worth getting this more than this. Okay, let's see. 4% damage reduction. While near an ally, this bonus is doubled, and 8% of the damage they would take from champions is dealt to you instead. What? That's crazy. Alright, this seems super strong, like retarded strong. Like, what the heck? Okay, well, large monsters and siege minions that you or nearby allies kill grant you 20 and 10 permanent health, respectively. Okay, so you can get up to an extra 300 HP just from being near siege minions that die. That seems kind of cool. I like the idea. Especially if you're playing someone that, I don't know, does good stuff with HP, like, I don't know, Tom Kench does a lot of damage with his auto attacks based off of how much HP he has, for an example, but honestly, this just seems too good to not take so far. Listen, every 4 seconds in combat, your next attack against enemy champion steals life equal to 3% of your max health. That seems cool also, but again, I'm going to have to say, for your standard top lane, okay, that's something I should also mention. I'm a tank player. When I play top, I don't play like Nocturne top. I don't play Akali. I don't play Yasuo top. Really, like, I'm going off the assumption that this is for tanks. So obviously, this could be good for Yasuo specifically. Who knows? But I'm more of a tank player. So every single time, I would take Bond of Stone. That's just what I would do. I'm not going to go over the rest of the stuff for tanks because I don't really play the other roles that much. I went over AD carry and support, and that's when I know the best, and so I don't want to give potentially horrible sounding information to those of you that do main those other roles. So I'm going to leave it at that. Again, real last quick peek, 0-18-12 for support, 18-0-12 for AD carry. That's going to be my mastery overview video for the PBE Season 6. It's going to be live in like a week or something. Super excited to try it. And yep, that's my first impression and my, I guess the stuff I would pick. So thanks for watching, and see you next time. Oh yeah, okay, didn't really know what to say.